Hi all, thank you very much to joining with me another one episode in my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to cover about the chart of account functions within Sage X3. So in order to discuss that, I would suggest that you have to see another one, you have to watch another one video there in my YouTube channel, basic finance by chart of account structure, which will definitely give you a fair idea about how you can create a good structure, account structure, or you can design a good account structure based on that Excel sheet. I am going to demonstrate that how we can create a chart of account structure within Sage X3 in order to go ahead for another configuration within Sage X3. So even though let me take one Excel sheet. This we already discussed in my eighth video series, where we decided that this is the structure of my chart of account. So the structure in the sense it can have asset, liability, equity, revenue, and expense. And this is total digit of my end account will be 6 digit, and it will have my balance sheet and profit and loss reports level accounts. Okay, so now we are going to look how I can define my chart of accounts within Sage X3 that you can find under setup organizational structure and the function chart of accounts. You can simply click uh, this is the function where you can create a number of chart of accounts under a folder. It's not related with company specific or not, but you can later point of time when you are creating a company, definitely the ledger will have the definition for this chart of account. So here I am going to create a new chart of account. For that, definitely you need to give a unique ID for this chart of account. So this field will accept only three characters. So my chart of account, I am giving chart code is KSA. So I am saying that Saudi Arabia chart of accounts, and the short description I am giving KSA, which will help in the reporting purpose. This short description will come rather than taking the long description of the chart code. Then this column header will come into the transactional level. It will show in column header for you. So I am saying that my chart of account for KSA. This effect we will see in our when we will come to in example of transactional level. Now the legislation I am putting for BRI, which is my folder legislation, and under management section you can see different kind of check boxes. This is based on your requirement, business process requirement from your client. You can do that, but let me explain about what is general tracking. General tracking is nothing but system will hold, if you check, the system will hold the balances of your chart of accounts in terms of getting that pure report out of balance sheet or profit and loss, any kind of report. The same time in this chart of account you can say that analytical tracking also you are doing. That means we already discussed what is the purpose of a dimension. So once you check this, then only within this chart of account, when you are using a ledger, system will allow you to take that selection on your dimension. Otherwise system will not allow to do that. Having said that, any chart of account can have general tracking without analytical tracking, or it can be general tracking and analytical tracking. But definitely it is purely based on the requirement of your client. And definitely the control account is nothing but within Sage X3 it is related with your BPs. So whenever you are creating any BP related transaction, if you want to do within the system, definitely the control account should be enabled in the chart of account level. So when you are creating a control account, you will mention this is my control account under this chart code. So next one is tax management. Tax management is nothing but in any country they have their own specific tax management rules and regulations. So this is if you definitely you need to check this and you need to go forward for the transaction. And automatic creation is nothing but let's assume that when you are when there is a subledger trans automatic journal is coming to the ledger level, if automatic journal cannot find a proper account, then system can bring system generated accounts bring to the system, and you can easily find out from the JV level, the accounts level, that what are that accounts are created, and later point of time you can change it in the JV level before make it final JV. So I'm not, but the better practice is don't go with automatic creation. So better system will throw the error in time of automatic journal is triggering. That time you can fix your problem. Now in our previous my eighth video, it is saying that we are going with fixed length format of my account. When you are creating a, let's an example, NCB bank, so it should be a 6-digit numerical value, or you can say that it can be alphanumeric as well. But I would suggest better practice is go with numerical value, and this is the class that we are already created in the system. It's a account class. You can check my videos for account class section, so you will come to know what is the benefit out of that. But here I can have n number of default classes, but in this chart of account what are that class you are using. But I'm saying that one prefix is starting with class number 1, that is asset 2. I'm saying that it is liability 3, that is nothing but my equity. 4 is nothing but my uh, 4 is nothing but my revenue, and fifth is nothing but my expense. So system is automatically finding this value based on this legislation, because account class are legislation specific. And here you can see under this system is automatically taken that BRI class, because this is already in the header level I mentioned BRI. So this is the general information you need to configure in the system in order to create a chart of account. Even though let me take you some other tabs, important tabs. So these are the area where you will define your some accounts in order to get some JV effect or supporting accounts when you are doing some transaction. Let's assume that one example is you can see that profit and loss account, where you need to link your retained earning account. It will help in the transaction level of purchase invoice or normal AP invoice or sales invoice or normal sales invoice. That is your revenue or expense will get affect that time. Definitely that the under the balance sheet we have equity retained earning account. So that retained earning account you will tag it here, which will help to take the proper balance sheet out of the system. And also it will help you when you are doing that year end closing. System will use it will take all the expense revenue minus expense amount, and it will put it into profit and loss account for the next year, and all expense and revenue account will be zero for the next year to get to go with the new transaction in that period. And reciprocal account is side to side reciprocal account. You will go control account, which will use for side to side level entries. and reporting code, that is nothing but under this chart of account what are the kind of account code you can use it, if when it is if debited, and which code you can use it, or when it is credited which code you can use it. That's its mean. Then there are default accounts, you can set it up. Then default dimension we can set to this chart of account. So uh, you can define the by default dimension as well here. Now, I believe that this is more than enough to us to do a normal transaction in finance level or distribution level within the system. But at the same time, you can see that in this area, I not tagged any account because we till now we not created any account under this chart code KSA. Once we done that, then we will come, definitely we will come back to here and we will tag appropriate accounts. That definitely I am going to create another one video for you. Right the moment I am going to create my chart of account, and you can see my chart of account now is ready, and this can be used for your ledger level. And another one most important thing is you can create n number of chart of accounts, and those chart of accounts you can tag to your ledger can tag to your accounting core module. So my next series will be covering how to create the chart of accounts and what is the benefit you will get the inside the chart. Sorry, next it will be ledger. In the ledger, how you can tag this and what is the benefit you will get under ledger to tagging this chart of accounts. And the next video will be accounting core model in order to create your company or site. I hope this video is helped you very well. If you have any comment or if you have any query, you can write to me. And in this video description section, you can see that relevant previous videos link which will help you to understand more if you are not watched those in previous. Thank you very much.